Hello everyone, I'm that friggin' guy, and today we're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to be building some bootleg Bionicles. I got these in from China the other day, and I want to go ahead and put them together. So, yeah, let's get to it. We'll start with the blue one here. If I can get the packaging open. What is that? Okay, so we've got our instructions here. 2 bags of parts and whatever this is, some sort of sword, I guess. Wasn't featured in the picture, so I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Got all our pieces here. I'm going to leave the sword alone for now so we can focus on actually building. Fun fact, this is going to be my first time doing a CCBS figure ever. I only ever had G1 Bionicles, so this is going to be just a little bit different. Okay, starting out with okay, so we're already on step 1, and it looks like some pieces are missing. Either that or the wrong color in the instruction manual. Let me have a look. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that these were supposed to be dark gray, and they gave me white ones instead, which is fine, but you know, not ideal. The thing that's kind of different and interesting with these is that they're I got these on AliExpress, which, as some of you may or may not know, there's a lot of knockoff Lego and Bionicle and stuff like that on there. Mainly G2. You can, to this day, still buy just about any G2 set that you want, just as a knockoff from them. However, the 3 that I have assembled here today are interesting in that they're not actually based on any real official Lego set. They are entirely original creations, which I thought was kind of fascinating and made me want to go ahead and build them. However, as you can see by us already having the wrong color parts here, the quality of these is a little bit hit or miss, but the way I see it, as long as we can get this thing built where there's no parts, like critical parts missing, I'm fine with like some slight recolors if we have to do that. Okay, this guy's starting to shape up. Okay, we got these, and we've already hit another, I believe. Nope, I take that back. This is the right size. Okay, I thought these were longer than they were, but they are correct. Like I said, this is my first time ever building any CCBS sets before. Like, I've got a handful of the parts just kind of lying around, but haven't used them So while this is kind of Bionicle, it's not really the sort that I'm used to. But that's cool. Good way for me to try it out, I guess. All these blue pieces, I can tell this is supposed to be some sort of like ice guy, I guess. It's an interesting color scheme. I haven't seen this in many official sets. This sort of light blue and light blue translucent with the silver. Oh, that doesn't go there. I need this one with this decorative stuff on it. I'm kind of pleased that it's not decals, it's actually printed onto the piece. That's kind of nice, because if we'd had to deal with decals, who knows what the quality of those would have been. Okay, here's... There's one arm. His arm seemed a little bit short compared to the rest of them, but maybe they're trying to be more anatomically accurate. I don't know. Either way, kind of neat. Oh, interesting. So this is the oh man, I forget what they're called. The like the elemental creatures, I think it was from G2. So this is one of the headpiece that fits over the masks. Black. Ooh, you don't want to go in there, huh? Like I said, the quality on these is a little hit or miss when you order them from China. Bootleg parts aren't quite up to the same quality standards you get from official Lego, but anyhow, ooh, come on, work with me. On you go. That connection seems whoop. No wonder. It's because I did that totally wrong. Okay, so we're using this little doodad here to connect that on. More color mistakes. They gave me translucent purple ones when they're supposed to be translucent, like light blue, but that's okay. I think it looks pretty neat. The good gradient from the light to the dark to the purple. This is gonna bug the heck out of me if I can't get this thing in. I think the nub on here is a little bit too tight. I will not worry about that right now. At some point I'm going to go and probably just sand it down to fit. There we go. That's much better. Okay. See, that's one thing this set's doing that I noticed a lot of CCBS stuff. Whoop, I put that on. Nope, I did not put that on backwards. That goes on wrong spot. Anyway, yeah, that's one thing I noticed that Bionicle Gen 2 and especially Hero Factory kind of like to do sometimes, I guess just to make the sets more interesting, is they used a lot of it seemed like they liked to use, that's the socket on the headpiece here just snapped, and I just felt that. It's still holding fine, it's not a big deal, but again, Chinese parts. You get what you paid for. Speaking of which, so funny story about these. So I ordered these 6 months ago, back in January, and they only just came in the mail yesterday. On AliExpress, the policy is that if your stuff doesn't arrive within 3 months, you're allowed a refund. So I had originally paid $30, about $10 a piece for these 3 knockoff sets, but after 3 months, back in April, they still hadn't showed up, so I got a refund. And despite that, they arrived in the mail yesterday, so technically speaking, I got these for free. So, okay, that's kind of cool. This is my first time playing around with the G2 Bionicle heads. It's got a light blue, the Akimu's Mask of Creation. Pretty cool. Let me see if the head pop-off thing works. Kinda, yeah. It doesn't go like flying off. Let me. Yeah, I don't know if maybe like the joints are a little too loose or too stiff or what. It'll pop off, but it doesn't like go flying off. It just kind of like loosens itself. Okay. Another small color snag here. You're supposed to get one of these in brown and one in black, and they only gave me 2 in brown. Honestly, I think that's fine. It looks kind of okay, so. Oh, that's weird. Normally these pieces have a like a little stopper in the middle so that it doesn't slide too far through. I was able to push this in like maybe 2/3 of the way, which is very not normal. Also, I should note this length. Oh shoot! Yeah, you're supposed to do that. You're just watch. There we go. You're not supposed to be able to do that with a normal Lego, but I guess here it's fine. I feel like that would be really inconvenient if I was using this for actual like Technic builds. But in this circumstance, well, shoot, this one slides all the way through. I gotta put all the pieces together just to size the dang thing. Okay. Oh, that's funny, yeah. The instructions here call for the size 2 axle. In the picture, it has the little notches, like you'd see on a normal one, but here, not so much. Let me... There we go. Ooh, this piece is really loose. I hope we don't have to use it. Yeah, we do have to use it. Okay. Okay, that connection's been tighter. And this random spike goes on the end here. Neat. And there we go, guys. We did it. We've got this dude built. I will put that little horn spike on his shoulder later. Once I'm probably going to sand it down to get it to fit. And other than a small number of incorrect colors, a few color discrepancies, he's looking good, I'd say. Pretty cool figure. No play features or action features or stuff. Just an action figure, but a pretty simple build. And I like him quite a bit. I think he looks better here than he did in the pictures I had seen online. He's a bit taller, and the mask kind of works better now that I'm getting my hands on it. Very cool. That's one done. I'm going to put the spike with him so we don't lose that. I remember to do that. Let's move on to green here. Oh, and they do have the piece list in the back. That's handy. Another sword. might not even end up taking those out of the packaging. I think they were just extras thrown in for whatever reason. Maybe someone else I know has a use for them, but I don't. Oh, wow, is this... This looks like a Zamor sphere in there, but I don't think it's quite the right size. I think it's a little bit small. Very strange. I'll have to compare that against my big bucket of Zamor ammo later. Okay, I'm kind of digging this color scheme. I have to admit, back in towards the end of Bionicle G1, I was pretty disappointed by the fact that all the green characters, they tended to be either that like dark metro green or the lime green, and they'd have like gray and stuff peppered in. Like, we almost never got to see just like normal bright green, and I kind of missed that. So, nice to see that making a return. Again, this was pretty heavily featured in G2 and I think also in Hero Factory, but that was beyond my time. So, okay, this piece goes on. Whoa, come back. Those instruction books don't like to stay open, but that's okay. Already very similar construction to the blue guy there. Ooh, and these extra long pins were fighting me there. Yeah, you get what you pay for, and I paid $0. So, big chest piece. Okay, okay. Ooh, and the ball just kind of pops in there. That's interesting. Viewers at home, let me know if this is like a real piece that exists, because I'm not sure that it is. The other guy, I know that every piece existed. There might have been some recolors in there, but don't know. This, though, I don't think I've ever seen this before, where like a Zamor ball fits into the front. At least not that I can remember from what I've seen of the Hero Factory G2 sets. Okay, there's that. And this armory piece here. Fits on there. Interesting. That's almost the same as him, just about. Okay. I have to admit, I've had a couple scares there for a sec where I thought we had like pieces missing outright. And that would be really bad here, because it's not like I can just go out and get another one of these all that easily. However, it seems like all of my worries are for nothing, because so far, nothing's been missing, just sometimes in the wrong color. Haven't had any color issues on this one, though, so... Again, I do have to say it's very interesting. This is my first time ever building CCBS, and pros and cons to it. It is definitely much easier to put a figure together, which is definitely good, especially if you're like a set designer for Lego or something. Ooh, it's just like a random shard of plastic. I don't know what that's off of. Oh, I know what that's off of. Oops, so the mask here, the helmet, the Breeze helmet, feels like it's made of different material than everything else, like really flimsy stuff, and that snapped off. So first major complaint, other than the slight color differences and that one horn, is that this piece here is like made of unusually cheap feeling plastic that seems a little brittle. I definitely don't want to break that, because while I know you can get these pretty easily, you can't get it in this like particular shade of green, and I am not interested in painting. Let me double check one thing to make sure I did it right. I think I did. Oops, no, I did not. Legs are just a little bit short. That's my fault. Oh, there's our first miscolor here. These are supposed to be dark gray, and instead they are black. Which, whatever. Fortunately, all these recolors are like, it's not a big deal when it happens so far. Like, I haven't had something that's like supposed to be like gray or something, and they gave me a red one, for example. And in a way, I can't really say unless I were to go and buy more of these things, but if it's just that it's accidentally a little bit random from set to set, I would almost count that as a feature, because it's like you're getting a slightly customized version of it every time, which you could consider to be kind of cool. I don't know. Which way are you pointing? I can't actually tell. That way. Feels like it's easier to just build the armor. Well, nah, because I'm sure I'm gonna have like 800 layers of armor. That's what I was saying before. CCBS, like, I like it, just for like, it is pretty simple to put together, unless you're a doofus like me and accidentally put the wrong length of armor leg on there, but I am not so much a fan of the way that, like, it feels like it would be really difficult to build like very advanced stuff. Like, if this makes sense, I guess you could say that both the skill floor and the skill ceiling are a little bit lower with CCBS, as far as using just CCBS, what you can actually like do with it. It's not quite as much as what you could do with like a hybrid of like CCBS and classic Bionicle and Technic all in one. Oh, speaking of replacing a black part with a red part, this was originally supposed to be black, and they gave me a an orange one, which is fine. It goes with the head, which is also completely wrong headpiece. This was in the instructions. It says to use one of those like the third version of the Hero Factory head, but they gave me the original Glatorian first version, which works much better. So honestly, some of these changes have been for the better instead of for the worse. So kudos. And now all that's left are the these fancy schmancy double blade looking things. I would say, honestly, of these, very cool so far. I feel that without them really advertising it, both the blue one and the green one here so far are giving up quite the, almost like an elemental feel in a way. Like, this definitely leaf type figure with the, like, the smoother, more leafy looking armor and the blades that almost look like leaves. Like, that's kind of cool. And this one here definitely feels like ice, with like the spikes and the spear. Feels like a hunter in the Arctic or something. Very cool. bonus points for just sort of the feel of these figures. They're pretty neat. And all I had left over was this piece here. So, very cool. Before we move on to the last one, I just kind of wanted to... oh, never mind. I don't have it on me. I will put on screen the full name of what these things are called, because it is... it's like 2 sentences long of like... New Lego Bionicle, Mask of Light, Marvel superhero action figure toy, like that. That's kind of what everything's called when you go and shop from the Chinese websites, because they're just trying to hit those buzzwords in their shop. For short, I believe that this series are also known as the Biochemical Warriors, which. I mean, fair enough. I guess that's, if you autocorrect Bionicle enough times, you could get biochemical. Though I have to disagree with the theming there. These definitely feel a lot more like Elemental Warriors of some sort. We've got the ice one, the jungle one, and this guy. Despite being in fire, I'd almost say he has sort of like a metal vibe to him, which is pretty neat. But I guess we'll see more of that when I get him built. Oh, and he starts out the same way. Yeah, if it weren't for the fact that like they used parts that seemed from kind of disparate lines, like different heads and masks and stuff, I could absolutely see these being like a proper line of Bionicles or something like that. Ooh, my gosh, this is not going to be fun. This blue long pin is bent. Oh, the heck. I think I'm going to break it if I am not careful with it, but I want to do this with the parts provided, so if I gotta bend it a bit and it's not quite a perfect fit. Yeah, that's not great, but it'll do. I don't think it's gonna snap, and if it did, I mean, you know, if the worst case scenario here is that our like most mangled, broken piece is a long blue pin, I've got plenty of those. We'll just sub it in. I'm just gonna keep this as is right now for authenticity's sake. But anyway, yeah, the 3 of these so far, like the builds are all very similar, but they each have their own unique flares, like the configuration of parts and armor and stuff. I think that's kind of cool. Like I was saying, it almost feels like if they had made 3 more, this could have been like a full wave of figures. I don't know if it would have been like Bionicle G2 or some other sort of theme yet to be named. But who knows? Wow, that stick's like way up his back. It's interesting and different, and I'm not 100% confident I did that right, but we'll find out soon enough, I guess. So let me flip back a bit just to be sure. Yeah, I did that right. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have a bit of a hunchback here, but that's okay. They like using this here spiky piece a whole bunch. I gotta say, this is kind of a fun color scheme. The bright red with silver and some black and gray and stuff. I don't think technically we've had any set with these exact colors since like, I don't know, like Tanakal maybe, or yeah. This is not like, that's kind of cool. These aren't using like especially common color schemes, which I think is going to kind of help them stand out a little bit in my displays and collections and whatnot. so far we've had no issues with parts in the wrong color on this guy so far. I don't want to jinx it, but oh my, and he is a bit of a short, stocky one, isn't he? Whoop, that was my fault. I grabbed the wrong part. Here we go. Ooh, this one seems unusually tight. Woof it. There's not a lot of range of... Okay, here's a first major complaint I've had. This guy feels like he doesn't have nearly the same range of motion as... And the reason why is because I'm dumb and I built it wrong. Whoops. Come on. These sockets are pretty tight. Okay, that's kind of the point I was trying to make. The whole thing with CCBS, like, it's super interesting because, yeah, it's just, you just kind of like snap the pieces together and it doesn't feel like it's not like as much that you're constructing the parts of the guy himself as much as just like building a frame and slapping some stuff on it. But the way you can stack armor pieces is kind of cool. And the fact that, I guess not so much with the green one, but with that the blue one here, it's sort of, I noticed there was a trend for a while of very asymmetrical builds. I've seen pictures of the G2 Toa, and there was quite a bit of that going on with them, which I kind of didn't like at first because it felt like they were just making them like asymmetrically colored and armored and stuff, like just for its own sake. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of gauche, I guess you could say, like just making them like weird looking, just kind of, oh, just to look cool. But it kind of grew on me more and more over time, where I'm like, oh yeah, why do you have to be exactly the same left and right side? So I guess it's just a matter of taste. It's kind of grown on me over time, and it looks like this dude's doing the same thing here with oh, okay, I believe we have, let's skip ahead and make sure we're not too, okay, yeah, okay, we've hit our first recolor. So my decision here, I'm supposed to have 2 red ones of these, and I have 1 red one and 1 silver one. And they match up with 1 red shoulder and 1 silver shoulder. So I think what I want to do here is I'm going to put the red... Also, this is supposed to be dark red, but they gave me like a bright mono red. That's fine. I think I don't want to make it like ugly or anything by like mix matching too many colors. So we're going to keep red with red, and we're going to keep silver with silver. Just keep in mind that this silver little clippy piece here is supposed to be red. But yeah, I kind of like that better, the more solid color separations instead of just like a blend where you can't tell what the heck is going on. Okay, now they give me the dark red. Oh, that one went in just fine. I guess it's just that big white horn on the other guy was, just that one piece didn't want to go right. I will address that later. I think if my tally is correct, we've only had like 1, not counting miscolors, like 1 problem piece per figure, which... I did it backwards again. Okay. I'm not good at paying attention to the instructions, guys. This happens a lot when I'm building actual sets from the instructions. I'll sub-unit, then put it on the guy, realize it doesn't look right, and have to go back and rebuild it. Not a big deal, but okay, that is much better. Oh, And this is our first guy who does not have any neck extensions. Okay, so his eyes are supposed to be orange according to these instructions, but they gave me blue, so color's a bit off, but that's okay, because I know what his mask looks like, and I think this is going to complement it. It's better than you remember towards the end of G1 where like every single figure had it like either orange eyes or lime green. It was just one of those two every single time. That sucked and that was boring. I kind of like this better. Okay, and this is the interesting part. So this is one of the protector masks. I believe this is a completely original color I've never seen before. Silver and orange. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is a unique color for this piece. So I might be one of the only ones out there who has this in this color. Let me see how it fits on his head and if the mask poppy gimmick works better on him than it does on. Ooh, this mask is much looser, so maybe not really. Like it comes, like it does come off, but it doesn't like shoot off or anything like that. So, and the nubs on this one are almost loose enough you can just pull it off with your hands. It's interesting. This is the first time getting my hands on that in person, getting to see it with. Do they want the brown one or the black one? They do want the brown. Okay. That's my first time. Ooh, that is really loose, and I don't like that. Maybe it's the axles. I don't know. Hopefully that'll stay in. We'll certainly find out, won't we? But yeah, that's my first time seeing the protector mask in person. So that's kind of neat. I never realized it looks kind of like almost like scuba mask kind of. Oh, I know what they're gonna do with him. It's gonna be like a staff. Everybody loves their staff. Yeah, it's this axle here is a little loose. That's all. I think. Props are accurately replicating this Galak staff. That's a pretty classic piece and a little bit complicated. Not props for giving it a loose axle. I'm a bit concerned with this guy that the axe might not always like to stay put. Ooh, that's a every single one of the pieces on these things is a little bit loose. I see. Okay. So well, cool. It's like the end of the staff. They give you a little spiky bit. I'll give them that. They don't just like end it with a stick, which is nice. They could have. They went the extra mile. Gosh, that is a particularly unwieldy weapon, but okay. Especially considering he has short, little, stubby arms. Honestly, underneath all the armor, these guys are all a little bit stubby arms and legs, but they look pretty cool. I wish this guy had the reach that he could like wield this thing better. When you can do that, it's really tall, but like it works, I guess. I don't know. I'll play around with posing him. Anyway, I put you on the end out of the way. Whoop. The 3 completed, or at least as much as I'm gonna get for now. Biochemical Warriors. We've got, I believe on the website they were just named red, blue, and green. There is one more, a yellow one. I wasn't interested in getting it because it had like a CCBS looking human head, and that definitely did not fit the style of the rest of them. But anyway, if you're interested in getting these specific figures, I'll try and find some links and put them down below if you want to give them a build and see what you think. Honestly, in my final thoughts, I had a lot of fun building these guys. Have to say, I kind of like green and blue here the best. I think they've both got a bit more style and better proportioned than our red fellow over here with his enormous weapon. But I don't know, they're all pretty good, despite a few slightly off colors. I'd say they're of acceptable quality for, about like $10 a piece for these. So yeah, I had a lot of fun building this with you guys. If you're interested in seeing me do more building of Bionicle and or other Lego sets in this format where I just kind of sit down the camera and go at it, let me know. And if you have any recommendations on things I should build, leave a comment down below. I guess that's all for now. I'll see you all next time. Bye.